right, we're here with Clarice, Natalie, and Colin to walk you through how to do a checkout of your resident.
Perfect. So a couple quick tips as you guys are doing your checkouts. One, you can just start a checkout, ask your residents if they have any damages just right off the bat, if they know they have a chip on the wall here, or like if there's a scuff on the table or they broke a chair or whatever it is, just ask them right off the bat, and it can kind of save some time. If they know there's already some damages, you can just write those down real quick. So for our kitchen, we're going to start with just cleaning the tops of things. With your fridge right here, a lot of people aren't tall enough to see over the top. So you can have them just climb on a chair or whatever it is, wipe that dust down, as well as all along the cabinets. Just getting that dust off, whether you have to get a chair or stand on the counter or whatever it is, just get the dust off the tops and kind of clean those a little bit. And then also with the cabinets, just go through everyone, double check, get on a chair, look at the top shelves, make sure they're all empty. Lots of residents will just leave a ton of stuff, so make sure everything's empty, and then you can also just wipe down the dust off the inside of all the shelves. So with the fridge and freezer, make sure these are all nice and white and clean. You can take out the shelves on all of these and just rinse those off. Same with the fridge. All of these are removable, so they can take these out, wipe them all down, make sure they're nice and clean, make sure all the food's gone, obviously. And then also for the setting, make sure this is just set to the normal setting right in the middle. A lot of them have just like a middle setting. Make sure you're not on less cool or more cool, just so it saves the most energy. Again, check all of the cabinets, the drawers, make sure those are all empty and wiped down. Sometimes they'll get crumbs or whatever it is in those, so just make sure those are empty. For the stove, so all of these can be removed. Make sure they're real clean. And then also for Yetter and Rockmont, you can take these off, and these will be replaced. So you'll throw these away and you'll buy a new set. I think it's like $10. Your residents will buy those and then add those on themselves. So wipe down this stove, and then also a little trick. This whole thing pops up for most ovens. And then this also gets really gross with just crumbs and grease and different things. So make sure they're cleaning all the way down in there, sweeping out the crumbs, getting the grease up. This is also causes a lot of burning and just bad smells in apartments is from crumbs getting down there and just being heated up. So make sure that you're checking that, as well as the oven. The oven can get real gross. This little window area as well as the sides can all get real gross. So make sure you're buying the right type of cleaning solution. Tell your residents to get the right stuff, because the wrong stuff will just make it worse. So we'll spray that in there, let it sit for a little bit, and then use steel wool for a lot of it. It's easiest to just take these trays out, make sure the trays are clean, and then also just keep them out while you're cleaning the sides. And that's usually the best way to do the oven. And make sure they're doing it well, because you can spend hours scrubbing those and you don't want to do that. So make sure they really have it really clean. If you're not sure if it's clean, have them do it again. When in doubt, just have them clean it again. It's usually the best option. We have a little kind of cabinet area here. They can just get the crumbs out of there, wipe that down, make sure that's clean. Have them clean the sink and the faucet and all that, make sure all the food's gone. You can run the garbage disposal if you want, just to make sure all that gunk is gone. Yeah, more cabinets, make sure those are cleaned out, all the trash and whatever else it might be, wipe those down if there's dust. Finally, the dishwasher, you can already see there's some little gross spots on there, so just wiping down the inside of that. You can take out the trays in there, make sure all of it's clean, there's no more dishes or anything like that. And that is your kitchen.
So I'll take you to the bedroom. So let's just kind of start with these desks and drawers. It's really often for the dressers and the desks to have things get behind it. So when you're checking people out, make sure you look behind, because things may have come and fallen. And so you want to check behind there. Also check and see if there's like, it's a little dusty in here, have them wipe that down, have them take care of that. But you also want to move the furniture, because a lot of times there's scuff marks along the walls where that furniture is. And their things may have fallen that they could have lost, so have them check that. And say like right here we have a little dent in the paint, so like be aware of that. And that's why you have your RCRs to compare it to. and you've seen in the other video of how to like document and write that stuff down. Then you're gonna come to the mattresses. You wanna make sure that the mattresses aren't torn or anything's wrong with it, so you're gonna flip them. Okay, looks good. And then it's great, just like double check those things, and again along the walls. And a lot of times there's scratches on these walls and dents, but it's harder to see because of the light, so just make sure you really check that well. And then when, especially in the row and the peaks, in the windows, there's a lot of windows, like the windowsills get really dirty on the tract. We don't have one here, so make sure you clean it really, really well. And then with the blinds, you're gonna bring them out, clean them, soap and water is great. Just make sure those aren't like dirty, aren't dusty, get her done. And then with these ones too, you're gonna check the backs behind them, make sure that everything's taken care of. Check these ones, like there's some dust in here, so have them clean that up. And then just make sure like the windows are locked, little things like that. And when you come to the cabinets, this is like, it's a little different here, but like in the row, in the peaks, make sure the stuff in the closets are wiped down, taken care of. And then make sure they do a very good job vacuuming. A lot of times, that's what you're gonna have to repeat and tell people to do again, because they're like, oh, it's just vacuuming. So make sure, like, especially like in the corners, there's a bunch of dust and stuff that gets caught. So you just have to make sure that they do that well. And then Clarice is gonna take you into the bathroom.
All right, welcome to the bathroom. This is generally the part that people clean the least, so you want to be really picky about it. You're going to want to test the fan, make sure that it's working. If it's not, we'll just put in a work order, it won't be a charge. So first of all, you're going to open up all the drawers, and again, make sure that they're all really clean. This one's got a hair, so you would want to make sure that they clean that again. So check all of those, check underneath the cabinets, and then making sure that the counter, you actually, when you feel the counters, you actually want to feel them to see if you can feel dust. Or other particles that are on it, and that way you can see if it's clean. And then you'll also want to make sure that you clean the faucet and clean out the sinks as well, making sure that there's no nicks on the wall or anything like that. As far as vacuuming goes, there's a lot of little corners right around here. So as Alex likes to say, hands and knees. So you'll get down on your hands and knees and kind of check specifically on the toilet, making sure that all of these areas are clean, as well as the ground around the toilet. That can often get really dirty. And then you'll want to check inside the toilet, of course, and make sure all of the trash is gone. And then there's also some shelves in here, so you want to make sure all those are emptied off and very clean. So the shower is one of the most important parts. Normally with the shower curtain, you'll actually just have them throw that away, and they can get a new one every year. And so the shower will need to be very, very clean. So generally they need a specific type of cleaning. Cleaning like formula, I don't know.
Product, yeah.
Yes, cleaning formula to be able to like truly clean it, so that way it will only take like half an hour instead of 5. So if it is not clean, then you will have to clean it. So make sure that you're setting the standards really high, because the standards that you set in December will be the same standards in May. And yeah, so as far as this, in the peaks, make sure that you also have a flashlight. And are actually like looking to make sure that it's clean, because it's easy to miss when it's dark. So then I'm going to take you guys out to the living room, and we're going to check the couch cushions. So in Rock Mountain Yetter, you're going to want to make sure that you lift up the couch cushions and make sure that there's nothing underneath. Make sure they're vacuumed, as well as vacuuming them in the row and the peaks. And yeah, you want to check behind the couches, make sure there's nothing left behind there, and make sure that it's all vacuumed down there as well. Again, you'll want to be kind of checking the walls, making sure you don't see different command strips or nicks or things like that. And then as we go down the hallway, in the row and the peaks, there's a lot of closets, and specifically in the row, there's a closet with a higher shelf. So you want to make sure that everything is off that shelf and that it is dusted well, as well as the other peaks closets. And so we'll come into the washer and dryer. So first you want to make sure that everything around is really vacuumed. If that's a really easy spot to miss, so even kind of getting underneath here, you're welcome to be as picky as you need. The pickier the better, honestly. So you'll open this up, and you want to make sure that this is all clean inside. So this is actually pretty dusty, so you would want them to clean it off. And then making sure that the lint is completely clean as well. And then in the washer, they're actually where they normally put their soaps. can sometimes get really dirty, so you'll want to make sure that this is all clean, and then you're actually able to get this out as well. This can come apart, and so you want to make sure that's clean as well. Yeah, so that is your checkout. If your residents give you grief, know that they can take that up with Residence Life. They don't have to badger you about it. So they're always welcome to refute a claim made against them, but that's something that they would take up with OWISA most likely. So yeah, thank you guys so much for all of your hard work. We really appreciate all that you're doing and the importance of checkouts.